Assalamu alaikum and welcome to another episode of Mind, Body and Soul. Those of you who have been watching us, you have seen us talk about the enhancement or how to enhance the mind and the body and the soul, and these three things without which we would not exist. So it's a very important topic that we've been speaking about. Now, Ramadan for us Muslims is a month of training. It's a month of how to train the mind, how to train the body, and how to train the soul. And having doing so, how we worship and fulfill our purpose in life. So once again, I've got Habib Bhai with us. Assalamu alaikum, Habib Bhai.
Wa alaikum assalam, Sharif Bhai.
Alhamdulillah, how are you? Good?
I'm fine, thank you, alhamdulillah. Good to see you.
Always good to see you, Habib Bhai. Now, as you know, we've been talking about the mind, the body and the soul, and we've been talking about what kind of food we should put into our body so that it plays a good role, and how to enhance the mind. You mentioned something called the mind food last week, mind food. So let's talk about mind food. What would you say these things are and how they play a part?
Of course. Thank you once again, and thanks to TV1. In terms of mind food, what we think when we eat, we think that, if I can say that in Bengali, fat bora lage khai.
Yes.
Yes.
It's
just to fill our stomach, basically, which is okay, but we eat so that we can function properly. Yes, that is the purpose of the food.
Absolutely.
Yes, and then function. Yes, internal organs should work properly.
Unfortunately, we don't think that, do we? When we eat, we just look at the food and we think, oh, that's going to be very tasty.
Absolutely. All we think about just taste.
The eyes eat before the stomach eats. Isn't that the case?
Absolutely. And that should not be the case at all. Yes, we need to enjoy the food. We should enjoy the food. Yeah. Every now and then we should be feasting. We should have feast. Yes, party, of course. Maybe once a month.
I second that.
Yes, once a month or once a week is fine.
Yeah.
You see, but overall, our diet should be a balanced diet.
Absolutely.
And in that balanced diet, in our previous episodes, we talked about healthy food.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, if we can talk a few things about unhealthy food, and specifically why they are unhealthy. So I just wanted to mention two unhealthy food.
Yes.
Yes. One is basically anything to do with sugar.
Okay.
You see, sugar is something we don't need sugar for our body, basically.
Don't we need it at all?
No.
What about energy boosting and stuff like that?
Those things comes with the other food that we eat anyway.
Right.
You know, fruit, vegetables, you know.
Yeah.
We get those things. We do not have to have extra sugar with chocolate or mishti or rasmalai. You know,
we love all this in our culture, don't we?
Of course, we do. All over the world.
Yeah.
You know, chocolate and things like this. That is why in America, 40% of the people in America are obese and overweight. In the UK, 30% of UK population, 30%.
So we're catching up with America.
Overweight.
We're catching up with America, huh?
Absolutely. So it is extremely bad for the nation, for the whole world. And it is even worse in Middle Eastern countries as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Saudi Arabia, Jordan, you know, Kuwait is extremely bad. Why? Because of the food habit. And in terms of two food habits, that sugary food, we must avoid it as much as we can.
Give me some examples of sugary food. Give me some examples.
So chocolate, for example.
Right.
Yes, is very bad for us. Yes, every now and then, even I have it every now and then.
But
yes.
Habib Bhai, chocolate and things like that we can avoid. You know, if we want to control ourselves, we can avoid.
Absolutely.
But some foods, let's for example say rice.
Yes.
When you think about rice, you don't think about sugar, do you?
Absolutely.
So
that's a very, very good point you said.
Yeah.
So chocolate, biscuits.
Yeah.
You know, the biscuits are not good for us at all.
Yeah.
Every now and then it's fine, but processed thing is not good for us at all.
Absolutely.
Misty, sweets. Yes, every now and then it's okay.
Yeah.
But definitely not every day.
Definitely
not. Then, Sharif Bhai, very importantly, you mentioned about rice. White rice, full of sugar. It's very tasty, by the way, no doubt about it.
Especially with curry.
Once or twice a week, it's fine, but definitely not 7 days a week white rice.
Right.
Why do we have so many people with diabetes? Why do we have so many people with other coronary heart disease. You see, mostly to do with our food habit.
Right.
And rice is a big factor.
Especially
the
in
white
our culture,
rice.
isn't it? The coronary disease is in the rise, and it's a huge portion of our people. They have this, and rice is something that is an everyday diet, unfortunately for us.
The white rice especially.
Yeah.
So what we are saying here is that look after your stomach, to look after your brain basically.
Yeah.
In other words, eat healthy food. So in terms of rice, for example, brown rice is very good for you.
Okay.
Brown bread, brown roti, you see, brown pasta, so many other brown things. Anything brown is wholemeal basically.
Right.
It's extremely good for you because, as we said previously, for our digestive system. So it will reduce your constipation and it will improve the quality of your life. That's what we want.
Yes.
That's what Allah wants us to do, to improve the quality of our life.
Yeah.
And food is the key factor here.
The saying is, you are what you eat. So if you eat the good food, you would be a good person.
Definitely.
So would you say that the food plays a big role in how your mind functions, how you conduct with others?
100%.
Right?
100%.
And imagine I'm talking to you and my belly is rumbling all the time, then I'm not going to be able to concentrate.
Absolutely. And fried stuff, again, it works in our brain in a very negative way as well.
Okay.
You see. So the other side I wanted to cover very briefly in terms of saturated fat and unsaturated fat.
Right.
So
Explain to me, yes.
When we say saturated fat, basically any fat which is solid.
Right. Yeah.
Shokto. Heavy stuff,
solid
basically.
Fat,
solid fat, yes. So, for example, ghee, butter, meat with heavy fat, basically. Yes.
You can actually see the solidity of the.
Absolutely. These fat are not good for our health at all. The more we eat those, then it goes into our body, and slowly it blocks our arteries.
Right.
And ultimately, it causes dysfunction of our arteries and heart attack.
That's right.
Heart failure.
Because it deposits in our bloodstream.
Absolutely.
Doesn't it?
It's like a sink. The more bad stuff we put, slowly it gets blocked.
Absolutely.
So ultimately, the bad stuff, the too bad stuff, fatty stuff, saturated fat, we like red meat especially. The more we eat, the more arteries get blocked, the more problem we have later on in our life. That's number one. Number two, in terms of, we talked about the sweet, the bad effect of sweets. How about unsaturated fat? There are some fat which are good for us, which are like oil, olive oil, for example. Yes, or vegetable oil. Unsaturated fat, they're okay for us, they're good for us.
Okay.
The other thing is omega-3.
Yes.
We live in the UK. Yes, we should be eating food that is good for this environment. So omega-3, salmon fish, for example, very good for your health, brain health.
Yes.
Salmon. And then mackerel. Yes.
So oily fish.
Sardine.
Yeah.
Yes. These type of tuna, these type of food are extremely good for you. Literally, they build your brain. Literally. You see. So in this month of Ramadan, my humble request would be to eat this kind of food: salmon fish, mackerel, sardine, tuna, this kind of food a lot. Reduce red meat, reduce sweety food, reduce white rice, sugary stuff. You see, and eat those food to build your brain. And as we said, the better your brain, if we can worship our God even better way.
Absolutely. Well, you got to concentrate, isn't it? And Allah's given us this mind and this brain to concentrate. And what does He say in the Quran? In every few verses, it talks about those of you who know, those of you who contemplate, those of you who think.
Absolutely,
and for that reason, we need our mind to function.
Absolutely.
So thank you very much, Habib Bhai. Very productive. Just for the viewers, we've talked about mind food. So at the end, Habib Bhai mentioned the mind food being unsaturated fat. So if we talk about two types of fats, We're talking about saturated fat, which is solid fat, which you can actually see in meat, in butter, in ghee, and so forth. Unsaturated fat would be olive oil, and omega-3, which is in most fishes, and I would recommend a lot of oily fish, because that's where you get a lot of omega-3 in it. So brilliant. We've had our tips, and these are the two things. One, you should go for more, which is the unsaturated fat, or which we call mind food, or whole meal products. And what you should avoid, and we should avoid, is the fatty, food, which is saturated fat. And in America, there's something called the hydrogenated fat, which is actually banned in America, but I don't think it's banned in this country. Maybe it should. And this is a very huge factor for people, getting diabetes and heart disease and so forth. So once again, viewers, thank you very much. I hope you benefited from this. And we will be talking about more mind, body, and the soul next week. So join us once again. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum.